light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated, sucker free, we got the seats heated, let's face it, you bout to get a beat down, less talking, let's take it to the streets now, ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight, touchdown on sight, yeah, turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin', go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got all night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shot.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 for another special Wednesday night Shoe Shine Boxing Slugged Out Sports Edition. Joining me all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Irish, Drew Evo. ¿Qué pasa, homie? What's been good? You got the Coca-Cola?
Got my fix.
Nice. We might be joined by 702 Man Cave, who might have a special guest, but to be honest, man, we both had to start the show late, so maybe that won't pan out. But saludos to everybody joining us for a second show this week. I appreciate everybody. We are live. Let me just share this really quickly. Drew, congratulations to the Flyers. I gotta love it, man. You guys have advanced to the next NHL bracket, haven't you?
Yep, and the dude had 42 saves.
An unbelievable game. The Golden Knights. Shout out to all my people out here in Vegas. The Golden Knights, obviously, right now in a very close game. What was it? Last I checked, what's the score right there?
I didn't even look at it.
Oh, man, I think it's 1-1 right now. Shout out to all the Golden Knights fans, Drew. It must feel good for your team to advance. Let me just send this link real quick here. Let's see here. But tell us what's been going on, Drew.
What in general?
I mean, what's going on with Drew? By the way, guys, we should get a little wager going, Drew. Congratulations. Give me some updates on what's going on. You guys beat the SFGiants, my team, 7-0. How embarrassing was that? That was embarrassing as hell.
Tommy, I just say this, man. I'm not. I don't really care about the Phillies right now. Like I don't know. I think that if we look at it, I asked a question on my Facebook page. It's private, by the way. That do the Phillies? Is this the end of an era, or do this team just needs a boost? And it's a shame because the wrong guy got fired. I don't think the manager. I think the GM should have got fired. Like, if you look at it like this dude did not do anything to improve this team, Dave. And you heard me a couple of times bitch about it on here, and you heard me bitch about it in general when we're talking to other people. So, I don't know. I think the hitting coach should have been fired. If you were going to fire a coach, you were going to fire the hitting coach because they swing at anything. These players swing at fucking anything. To me, I think Bryce is heading on a decline. I think Trey Turner is a waste of. Hasn't lived up to his contract. He's a waste of a signing. Kyle Schwarber, he's going to be your home run hitter and everything. But your other hitters ain't hitting shit. Alec Bohm is hitting 149. You did not address the bottom order of your lineup. And everything. So, the pitching's been horrendous. Starting pitching. They haven't really been able to use their reliever because they've always been down. But I don't know about them. Like the Sixers came back and dominate the Celtics in Boston, and the pressure's on the Celtics now to finish them in 6 because I think if they don't win, I think the Sixers win Game 6. I think the Sixers win the series. So I don't know, and I like the draft. So
Hey, shout out to 702 Man Cave. I'm not sure if you're still here. Big Spooky in the building. Wiley Coyote, great to have you, Drew. We are going to do some quick updates on, well, like I said, congratulations to your NHL team. I've mentioned this, man. I've really grown fond of your mascot. I think it's Gritty, right?
yep.
Not Griggy, but Gritty. I love your mascot. Some of the shenanigans. Boy, man, that I feel bad for all the Pittsburgh fans, but the Golden Knights, I got to worry about our local team, the Golden Knights, who are tied 2-2. I'll keep an update. It's 1-1 right now. If you are a Raiders fan, obviously, Drew, we're going to talk real quick about the NFL draft, maybe do some boxing talk. But a former Raiders defensive end player, good friends of Max Crosby, tragically passed away this week at the age of 35. Josh Morrow spent nearly, I think, 8 seasons or 7 seasons with the Cardinals, man. So any Arizona Cardinal fans out there might be more familiar with his play, but still a very good friend of Max Crosby. In Max Crosby's rookie season, he was influential in his gameplay defensive end. No word yet on how he passed, but salute to all the Raiders fans out there. This is a sad day for fans of the NFL, man. Only one can speculate right now. I'm not going to do that, but rest in peace to him. If you are interested in that tomorrow during the day, Drew, we got 2 games, man. My team and your team, doubleheader. What happened in Philly, man? You guys got rained out all day?
Yeah, it was raining, and it started raining at like 4:00.
All day?
Yeah, it's gonna rain tomorrow, I think, too.
Yeah, I think that means one of our aces, Logan, will be pitching tomorrow morning at 9:30 in the morning. From what I read, the SFGiants may just use the bullpen tomorrow unexpectedly and see if they can. We are dead last, and the SFGiants are now. People have joked that we couldn't get worse than the Rockies, but we're dead last, Drew. Just like I think you guys are dead last in the NL East, right?
Probably dead last in the whole fucking majors.
But at least you guys did something about it, and you guys got rid of the of your coach.
Here's the funny part. You know, last week the Red Sox fired their coach, right?
No, I didn't keep up with that. Saludos, Linda.
So look at this. The Phillies offered the one that got fired the head coaching job at the Phillies, and he turned it down because he wanted to be with his family. I spent some time with his family. I'm like, I don't understand. So you got fired as a manager of a team, and you want to hire a dude that just got fired, thinking he's going to do something with this team? Come on.
Man, Drew, I was watching the open workout on. Usually I go to this, man. I've been going to these events, but I had a lot to do today. Apparently, Canelo, the guy's known publicly as Canelo's #1 hater, but he's here. He's Team Benavidez. He was there at the event, man. And I'll say this quickly about David Benavidez. Making his debut at cruiserweight, his hand speed was there, man. He still got that electrifying hand speed at cruiserweight, even with the added weight. We'll talk about that shortly.
Dude looks like a midget in that photo.
It looked like a healthy crowd. Again, it is only Wednesday, so there's no telling exactly how much excitement there's in the air for Cinco de Mayo in Las Vegas, how well ticket sales have done. But it's going to be an electrifying boxing weekend for all boxing fans. We got the Nakatani versus Inoue fight, which for you, Drew, starts at 7:30 in the morning on the East Coast.
I actually made a parlay for three boxing fights this weekend.
Ooh, well, let's save it for the end of the show. I wanted to touch base on some of your thoughts on this NFL draft. Again, I'm not sure if Vince is going to join us, but he might have a special guest for us. Canelo Alvarez, if you're interested, will be attending to support Jaime Munguia. he will be there. And one only knows if David Benavidez will be calling out Canelo Alvarez. Who knows if we're going to have that Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury moment that just happened on Netflix the other day.
I think David needs to forget about Canelo Alvarez. You're moving up the cruiserweight, dude. You shouldn't even move that down to 175.
And that is like what's publicly he's been saying. David Benavidez this week has publicly been saying that for him, the best fight he wants is Dimitri Bivol back down at 175. Typically, cruiserweights moving down to light heavyweight historically hasn't been a good move. It really like shocks the body to go from cruiserweight back down. But if anybody can do it, it would be him. But it just seems like a real challenge to come back down and weight to lose it 15 pounds. But that all remains to be seen, man. We can't count out Zurdo this weekend. I
actually think, I think people are really disrespecting Zurdo Ramirez when it comes to, I looked at the line and everything, disrespectful and everything.
It is. I'll be honest with you. I was on with Lucas Cattell. Shout out to Lukey Boxing earlier, Drew. I was on with him. You know, he writes for BoxingScene.com, and he felt that it's a 50-50 fight, and he also felt that people were disrespecting Zurdo Ramirez. They know each other well, so we'll get to our picks at the end of that. But I do have some news, Drew, about that Floyd Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, the one that was almost called off, and then, we find out that Floyd took in advance on his Netflix deal. He was teasing people saying, teasing it that maybe it was not going to be an actual fight, that it was going to be an exhibition. He himself said that he didn't know if it was going to be at the Sphere. And it turns out that Netflix and the production that's putting it on have decided to move away from that Sphere, which is that big giant round ball in Las Vegas that's constantly doing visuals, Drew. $3 million. And Dana White made a statement. He goes, I'm not surprised. Dana White successfully had the only combat sports fight, the UFC Noche Latino or something like that. First and foremost, tickets to that for the Sphere, when Dana White first put out tickets, started at $3,000. Man, that's far beyond the reach of what people want to spend right now in this economy. But it all stems down to, I guess, the video graphics, because the whole thing encompasses you in video, Drew. I was just reading about this. They just put out a story about it. It's about $400,000 per minute of footage. So not only do you have to pay for $3 million to rent the Sphere, but you have to create visual. I mean, I guess you could just go on the cheap and just show what's going on the like a big screen, like they would at a basketball game. But they scratched that idea. So we might be getting this fight at T-Mobile or MGM Grand. But let's quickly talk about that, Drew. Obviously here for Las Vegas Raiders fans, they're very excited. They got Mendoza as the number one pick. And I love what they do on all these memes, guys. These memes are great. This one right here, Los Raiders del Norte, puro pinche Raiders. That's at the very bottom there in the middle. Obviously, that's a picture of Fernando Mendoza. Drew, this is a meme based on one of the most popular norteño music bands that was from San Jose, California, actually, Los Tigres del Norte. So shout out to whoever created this one. I guess it's Raider Rich 87 on Instagram, but that one's really, really funny there, Drew. What do you think about that number one draft pick? Is it going to turn the luck of the Las Vegas Raiders around?
It's too early to tell. It has not been lucky, but I don't know. He's not going to start right away. It's going to be Kirk Cousins in there. I'm kind of worried because I don't think the brass is into this football team. Maybe Tom Brady is, but Mark Davis isn't. I don't know. I think the Raiders have made good moves on defense. And I think so. Their defense here's the thing. Their defense wasn't really that bad last year. It was middle of the pack. Their defense might have an opportunity to be a top 10 defense. So I don't know. I think I hope that they're better this year. I hope they're better this year. They should be better this year, somewhat better. But they're not going to be playoff teams. But get it on track finally to do it. But I don't know. It just looks like something is going to on the Raiders.
Yeah, well, they still have Max Crosby, so a lot of Raiders fans are starting to tune in, Drew, to our channel, and I appreciate everybody there. And I think that I have no choice, even though they're not my team and whatnot. I have no choice but to cover them, and support them. I even jokingly, most people don't know, but I have a custom Raiders license plate, which is something they offer here in Las Vegas. I support the team, so. I got something I wanted to talk to you about that maybe here's a clip. I know you love to chime in on this, but this is from the Pat McAfee show, and this is regarding the 49ers. 49ers and their ongoing drama with Brandon Ayuk.
Matter of fact, someone should ask Pat McAfee, how about those Penguins?
Oh, he's a Penguins fan?
Yeah.
Shout out to Vince, 702 Man Cave. If you still wanted to join us here, let me play this clip real quick.
But he's expecting them to move on from Ayuk. How do you kind of see this whole thing working out?
This is like
Sorry, guys.
kind of weird. What I thought of is like, when you're like young and you're like in high school and you're talking to someone on the phone, let's say a girl on the phone, and you're kind of like, all right, hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Kind of like that, That's like what this is like. Because I think the 49ers are kind of like, well, just trade for him, right? I mean, he's got no guaranteed money left. He's due a big number, 27 or something like that. But he's got no guaranteed money left because he stopped showing up for rehab last year and they took his guaranteed money away. And then if you're a team like, let's say, the Commanders, you're like, who have interest, you're like, well, just cut him. You're going to cut him anyway. And the Niners are like, well, we're not going to cut him. You got to trade for him. And then the Commanders are like, no, you're not. Just cut him. And that's where we are. And so it's like kind of like a funny little, talk about source off. This is like a standoff. And so he's just kind of like waiting.
Drew, from what I understand, 49ers, if they let him go in June, it's a huge discount on what they owe him. But still, some other team has to pick up, I guess, part of that contract, which is unbelievable money for a player who hasn't played in quite a bit. So here's, I'll let you rant on this, but let me add Vince to the conversation here.
All right, so they're all going to cut him because no team is actually going to take him on at that number. It's not smart. He is not answering their phone calls. He's not even trying to engage with the Niners. Doesn't that tell you one thing? He wants them to cut him, so he'll be free to sign whoever he wants to sign with. And if you look at it like this, if we're going to look at this situation, this is going to be an ugly breakup. It's already an ugly breakup. This is like you take this girl on a date and you take her to McDonald's and you buy the dollar menu for dinner. And she doesn't like that dollar menu. She says you're cheap as shit. But with Brandon Ayuk is in his feelings for no reason. He's like that. He's Megan Thee Stallion, and the Niners are Klay Thompson. And the Niners are trying to get out like Klay Thompson did to Megan Thee Stallion. But they're not able to because they can't get a hold of him.
We talked quite a bit about that Megan Thee Stallion thing, Drew, the other day. And I think he said some more things, but hey, Vince, glad to have you, man. What's the score of the Golden Knights? You got the Golden Knights game on?
No, I'm watching the Lakers are losing 56-65 against Houston.
Oh, Vince, I totally missed your text, man. Did I miss your special guest?
Yeah, man. I had him here. Damn, we're going to get on your phone. Shoot.
Bro, I wasn't even looking. I'm not even going to say it out loud to disappoint everybody, but we'll have, should I say?
No, it's all right. It's all right.
All right. No, we just missed Emiliano Vargas, guys. He was at Vince's And it would have been so great to ask him because he must be so excited about. Was featured now. He's going to be the co-main event to the Xander Zayas officially, right?
And he's not fighting a bum to all those people because this guy is 13 in the world. So he's not a bum. He's 22-1 because everybody said all they're doing is fighting bums. So I guess if you're 13 in the world and you're a bum, what is not a bum?
Well, let me just quickly talk about his opponent really quick while I got you here on the subject of that. Bryce Mills, Syracuse, New York. So he's going to bring some friends and family, which is always great. He's going to bring people to New York City. Bryce Mills is 5'8", 24 years old, and just has one loss, 21-1-0. It's a very equally matched fight, and he is ranked in the 140-pound division. He's just unknown to me, but he's unknown to us. Most of those fights are probably on the East Coast, but that's the name of the game, man. Fight somebody ranked.
Can I ask him and say, what is this guy ranked? I said, because, they're going to say you fight a bum. He says he's 13. So, well, he ain't a bum then. He ain't 13 ain't a bum to me.
I think he's trying to be on track to get a title shot in his next fight.
That's the goal.
And like the thing about it is, it right now, he's got to look somewhat great
spectacular
in this fight, but at the same time, he has to look somewhat vulnerable so these champions can look at him and say, "Oh, we found somewhere we can beat him and everything." At the same time,
you're right. Yes.
So
he's got to make a statement.
Yeah, he's got to make a statement, but at the same time, he's got to make one of these guys look at him and say, "Hi, I can beat him easily," and then give him that and then send that off him. Yeah, like he ain't gonna get Shakur Stevenson right now. He ain't gonna get that fight, even though they can probably get him ranked in the WBC. He's probably ranked in the WBC, and they can probably do something about it.
Yeah,
but I think Moyataya could be a potential fight.
Yeah,
but you have to look at it. He has to look spectacular in this fight.
Yes. Yep.
And I think the next fight, he has to fight a top 7 guy.
Yeah.
If not top 7, a former world champion would be ideal.
A former world champion would do it.
Yeah.
And his next fight might be in Vegas, he told me.
But here's the issue with that. What former world champion is going to be willing to step in with him? If he looks because the thing about it is
Pet Bull.
You want me to tell you who?
I'm not trying.
How about Adrian Broner? By the way, that's Bryce Mills there, All-American kid, 21-1-0 on a 15 win streak.
I tell you the truth. I don't think anybody should want to associate themselves with Adrian Broner.
You're right.
It's like if I was him, I think Emiliano needs to fight somebody in the top 7 next if he wins his fight, because you don't want to go back down.
Nope.
For fighting a 13th ranked guy in the world to fight like an 18th or 20th ranked guy, where you go from 13th, probably go to fight like a 9 or 7 ranked fighter in the world.
Yep.
Because this is like an eliminator, isn't it?
Oh no, he didn't say nothing about that because he's fighting. It's for the silver WBC belt.
Okay, so that is somewhat an eliminator.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, Wiley Curtis says Broner is a bum. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. I gotta touch on this Adrian Broner thing because it's been getting worse, Vince. We first took a look at him a couple weeks ago in Las Vegas with Dean the Great, who took on your nephew Amado Vargas.
It's another clown.
He's been on this Dean the Great kick stream. It appears that he's living with Dean the Great, and he's been drinking nonstop ever since the Vegas incident where he almost got into a fight here. This is probably, of all the clips that I've seen in the past 2 days, the saddest one. This one is really sad because you can see that Adrian Broner, he's been on alcoholic binges before, but it seems like he's really... Yeah. I'm going to pray for the guy, but this is pretty bad. Yeah. Here it is. Mm-hmm. Dude, he is all toe back.
Love it. Love it.
What the fuck?
If he's not fighting with he's fighting with women on Dean the Great stream,
Fighting with midgets.
fighting with that one midget or little person,
Yep.
whatever.
Moment
Baby
done.
alien.
The alien.
Or you can get it back. I'll make sure you get it back.
I don't got bread.
Basically, he needs money for Uber. If you want to get rid of Adrian, you got to pay for his Uber, bro.
Well, you see, he took $1,000 to shave his beard.
He did?
Yeah, Dean gave him $1,000 to shave his beard.
Oh my god, bro! He was asking for $1,000 for an Uber too, wasn't he? He's hitting
poor guy.
He's hitting rock bottom again, man. Somebody get him some help in his personal circle. He's got kids. He's got a lot of kids.
I know, man.
To clean up his act for.
Yes.
Here's the issue with him, man. He's burned his bridges with a lot of people, unfortunately, and
Yep.
it's unfortunate. I don't think there's anything that can help him. Like, he asked you one thing when he came back to boxing before. Keep me fighting, so I have something to keep me off shit with, so I can stay in the gym. And Al fucking leaves him inactive.
Yeah.
And what happened? Falls back into it. So it's something that Adrian is his own worst enemy, and unfortunately, you don't have the right people around you to help you through this situation. It's like when he was like in his good stage of his career and everything, and he was winning and everything. He was going to the clubs and he was on stage doing like the dances and everything. I said, you know what? He's gonna lose one day, and it's gonna be a bad loss, and he's never gonna be the same from it. And this guy may lose everything eventually. And what happens? He does.
Yeah.
Dr. Johnson in the chat says, do you think or feel that AB is another sad effect of Floyd Mayweather's influence?
Yes, because there's so much. They deemed him the next Floyd Mayweather early, and they did like. Here's the thing: Adrian Broner fought and beat good fighters in his time. There's no doubt about that. One of the fastest, the 3 weight division champions. There's no doubt about his resume of the guys he beat and everything. It's just that the way that he didn't when he was fighting Madonna the first time, when he's fighting Madonna, you saw he had no urgency, and like every time after that, he was he was losing a fight. And they told him let your hands go. They show no urgency that he had to let his hands go.
True.
Yeah.
By the way, I got that clip too. That's another clip that's circulating around. He talked about Madonna.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That nigga hit me, cuz. My whole body went numb, cuz. My whole body went numb, nigga. I told that nigga, I grabbed that nigga. Y'all ain't see it though. Yeah. I grabbed that nigga. I said, bro, you gonna have to kill me tonight.
Man, who could forget the way he stormed out of that ring after that whooping that Madonna put on him?
Clowned him, man.
He stormed out of that ring. It kind of like set the tone for other boxers that didn't want to be interviewed after. Oh, man. But, speaking of public perception, Drew, your number one pick, who had I think he had an amazing season at USC. I'm talking about your number one pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Mekhi Lemon. He made quite the impression on football fans who weren't too keen on him because of his theatrical, I guess the way his interview was on stage, theatrical. They called him the slithering snake.
He's a dog, Dave. That's why.
Now I've seen video of him. I've seen video of Mekhi Lemon where USC is a prestigious university. It's one of the most prestigious universities in California, man. You can't be dumb. Even if you're a top athlete, you can't be dumb to go there. Just like you're not going to get into Stanford to play football if you're dumb. Yeah. But there was a lot going around where people had an opinion about his appearance at the NFL draft. But here's what he had to say, Drew. Let me see what you guys think about this one here.
Kind of Makai, when your combine interview at the podium went viral, did you expect that? And what was kind of your reaction? The public kind of was going crazy over all of that.
Yeah, definitely. Like my main takeaway, is just really a learning experience. Definitely, just how I just carry myself more professionally. I definitely didn't, expect, to look like that, but I learned from it definitely, and I just be better moving forward.
Was the intensity you showed though on your face there? Is that kind of who you are on the field, and is that the type of fire you play with out there?
Yeah, definitely. Every time when it comes to ball, I just take it so serious, and I just play with like so much heart and passion. So, every time that that's that type of thing is brought up, I definitely take it more serious.
What kind of feedback, Makai? When you,
I was a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie, Drew, but it seems like the kid's all right, man.
He's a stud, dude.
All right, Vince says he's a stud.
Like he
gave my team nightmares.
He's got the award last year for the best receiver in the nation, for last year, and the round 2 pick has got the award for the best tight end of the nation last year. So there's 2 offensive weapons of the future for us, and I'm gonna look. You gotta look at it like this. Dallas is gonna live to regret this, and again, like they did with Devontae Smith. Like, here's the thing. They had a good pick from the kid from Ohio State, but the guy that they got with the 23 pick, that's a C-plus pick. They could have done better with that pick. Like, I didn't understand that pick. There was, like, better talent out there at that position. And, like, I don't know, like, but the safety they picked was good. He's the best safety of the draft. But if you look at it, I'm talking to Dave, I think the biggest losers of this draft is the 49ers.
I agree, Drew.
And here's the thing.
Man.
I'm sorry, but how do you move out of the first round? And then you see all these needs that the Niners have. And instead of doing that, you draft a running back that you didn't need. And then you draft a couple other players that you didn't need either in positions. You need an offensive line. You need a receiver, and you didn't really draft a receiver because
we got a wide receiver.
In like the later rounds, you should have drafted him in the first round. Like, I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. You might be losing Jennings. You're most likely losing Jennings. You're losing Ayuk.
Yeah, no, we are.
And I think definitely losing Ayuk.
But we just got Mike Evans.
Yeah, you got Mike Evans, but here's the thing. Are you getting the Twilight career Mike Evans? Are you getting Mike Evans that can still be
our whole team? My whole team is in the twilight of their career except Purdy, bro.
Here's the thing. I thought that this was a mistake for them to re-sign Trent Williams. I think they should have traded him. They should have racked up on some picks, and they should have started getting younger, because you don't know when Trent Williams is gonna go, and Father Time's gonna get him, and he's gonna be starting to get injury prone. That's the issue. He came off an injury last year, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think you guys should address the defense some more. You traded Winners, whatever the hell his name is, to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And he was a good contributor and everything. Like, I just did not think that the Niners, I don't know what John Lynch was thinking.
Well, Drew, I mean, your criticism is fair. A lot of people were very upset at the 49ers picks. I will say there's some standout players that I think might have an impact. Cornerback from Washington, Ephesians Presock. He's built for this position, and I think that we got a lot of potential in that Old Mississippi draft pick. It was round 2. We gave up that first round draft pick, number 3 overall, Dejon Stribling, wide receiver of Ole Miss. I like him. By the way, you guys picked up at number 2. Your number 2 is a player from Vanderbilt for tight end, right?
Best tight end in the nation last year. He got the award for it.
And who was his quarterback?
Psycho Funk.
He went undrafted, but I think he signed with the Ravens. Look at it like this: if you see this kid's highlight, you'd be like, this kid's uncoverable. And
You guys got some good. You got a couple great picks, man. You got a wide receiver and a tight end that should really boost that offense next year. By the way, yeah, Greg Pavia. No, is it Diego Pavia from Albuquerque? Is he from Albuquerque? I think he's from Albuquerque, right? It was going around that he was spotted at the strip club throwing hundreds of dollars around. But anyways, he got signed some type of undrafted free agency agreement, a 3-year deal. But it's not guaranteed. He still has to make the roster. But they signed him. They signed him to the Baltimore Ravens. So he's got some kind of deal. And hopefully he ends up at the very least on the practice squad, man. I do have a soft spot in my heart for him. He is part Mexican American, just like this weekend David Benavidez is part Mexican American.
Hey, I might get free tickets to that fight.
Oh, I know you are, man, because I don't think the fight sold the way it did. And they're going to start inviting on Friday. They're going to start inviting the who's who in the combat sports world, man. I have no doubt they're going to invite you, Vince.
Yeah, okay. Emmy he asked me. So I ain't paying for that. You're crazy.
Can we all really accept that David Benavidez is not as much of a draw as people think
He's not.
He is? Like his dad hypes him up so much. And the thing that hurts him the most is his concentration on Canelo and being better about not getting the fight. And people are saying, you know what, dude, man, you worry about one fucking dude, man. He hasn't fought you. He's not going to fight you. Move the hell on, man, and try to fight these other guys. Because before, his resume wasn't really that great and everything. And people didn't really respect that resume. So he didn't do himself any favors losing that belt because he tested positive on cocaine at the time. And he could have got that fight with Canelo back then.
Yeah, it seems like ages ago.
He's right.
But he was the WBC champion early, and that would have been a great time for him to have got that Canelo fight early when – there was a time where Canelo had to weigh his options. Like, now's the time for me to fight this young guy, young fighter, hungry fighter, because he's not ready for me. He doesn't have the experience that I have. That would have been a perfect opportune time. I was talking with Lukey on his channel of boxingscene.com, Lucas Cattell. I don't know, but we had a great guest on there. We're trying to understand why maybe he's not a draw, and maybe he will be a draw. But one thing for sure is that this Saturday night, the top section of the T-Mobile Arena is closed, so it will not be full capacity, 18,000 seats. Can he sell out the rest? Will it sell out? Will there be 13,000 people? That's roughly what the MGM Grand holds, is 13,000 people.
They should have had an MGM Grand.
Friday, by the way, guys, I am going to go to the weigh-in. My wife wants to go and check it out. It starts at 1 o'clock. It is not at T-Mobile. It's not outside, where, sometimes when Canelo Alvarez does his weigh-in, so many people show up that they do it outside for everybody. So it's going to be at MGM Grand, it's still a lot of fun. It's still a lot of fun. Yeah. You get to see all the people that are coming to town and feel some of that Cinco de Mayo vibes. That's at 1 p.m. this Friday.
Doors open up at 12.
Yeah. So let me since Vince is here, Drew, not only did you guys get a high, some people say you guys deserved an A, but the Dallas Cowboys are getting, by all the pundits, they're saying it's an A, that the draft class is an A. Caleb Downs, safety of Ohio State. Let me just give these. Yeah. You got number 23, Malachi Lawrence. They picked up 2 people in the first round, an edge player. Number 3 at number 92, Jaishwan Barham, offensive linebacker. Offensive tackle at round number 4 at number 112 from Penn State, Drew Shelton. And then they picked up a cornerback at number 114. That was in round 4. LT Overton, edge from Alabama. So you guys really are beefing up that defense. And you got a wide receiver, Anthony Smith. But what about Pickens? What's going on with that?
I hope they keep him, man. They signed him, I guess, for the franchise tag.
I'm going to be honest, Vince. I'm going to tell you this right now. And I heard this rumor too. I think he's getting traded to the Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah, he will stay.
There's no way in hell I am letting them stay on on this year. I'm not getting nothing for him because you're not going to be able to re-sign him.
Nope.
You got CeeDee Lamb making $30-some million a year,
I
and you're
know.
paying him. He's going to want more than CeeDee Lamb. And then,
Yeah.
and if that happens, CeeDee's going to say, "Oh, I want more. I'm the number one receiver," even
Yep.
though Pickens played more like the number one.
I'd rather
had a
have
better
Pickens over
year.
CeeDee Lamb, to be honest with you.
I tell you the truth, I'd rather have him over. I'd rather have him over CeeDee Lamb too. I really would.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb can, in big moments, drops those passes. And
Too much.
I think CeeDee Lamb can be is like, "Oh, I'm uncoverable." No, you're not uncoverable, dude. Cranion, he couldn't get shit on Cranion. He couldn't even get shit on fucking Cooper DeJean. And now Tariq Woodley from Seattle on the Eagles, that might be no fly zone.
Yeah.
And even depending on what they do at that safety, which I think they're gonna probably use Michael Carter the second, and so because they kept him and everything, and let him learn to play safety and everything, because he played a little bit of safety in college. But I think if they're really planning on doing something, I think they have to move on from Pickett's or potentially move on from CeeDee Lamb. I
want CeeDee Lamb gone.
I think you could get a first-round pick for CeeDee Lamb. I think you can get a first and a third-round pick right now for CeeDee Lamb.
Yes.
And I really look at it like this. You got to move on. You got to at least trade one of them.
Yes, you're right.
Because if Pickett, you got to choose one to keep. Because you have on the tag Pickett, but you also got to look at it like this. I don't want this guy leaving. I don't want this guy. I need something in return for this guy. I know I'm not going to be able to resign him. And then and then Dak is contracted, even though he restructured, the hit's going to be still. And then this is a make it or break it. This could be a make it or break it year for Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
For his future.
And you know who's coming out? And you know who's coming out next year in the draft?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Archie
Manning.
But here's the
I
thing.
would love to get him. I don't care if he flops.
I look at it like this. When someone told me Jalen Hurts has a prove it year, I'm like this. Oh, I see. You're telling me Josh Allen is a prove it year, Joe Burrow's a prove it year, because Justin Herbert's a prove it year, because they all made more than him. They all got signed more than him. Like, he gets disrespected more, and these other motherfuckers, they even make the playoffs half the time.
Or
and
win a Super Bowl.
And won an MVP Super Bowl. So I think the offense, I think the scheme is going to fit. Jalen's going to adjust to it. And I think that's why they got Mekhi Lemon, because he's a great guy in the middle. But like when it comes to the Cowboys, I really think that, like when they first signed Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, this is before the Micah trade. I said this team's going to be in cap hell.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose Micah Parsons. And people are saying, "No, you're nuts." I'm like, you're either going to lose Micah or you're going to lose CeeDee Lamb. Because you got to wait for DeMarcus Lawrence to be off the books.
Yeah.
He's off the books. He's in Seattle. And then
won a Super Bowl.
And then you got Diggs. Diggs is off the books now. You got rid of that contract. And then the one move I questioned the most, Darlin Bland. You signed him to a $96 million contract after the year before he got beat deep, maybe 26 times in that season alone. And they paid him top corner money, and I don't even think he's a top corner.
No,
I think he's probably your second best corner that you probably pay that's your minimum just to have him on the field. That because you paid somebody else a lot of money. I think they overpaid him. But don't get me wrong, Cowboys do hit on some draft picks. They do hit on some draft picks. I just didn't like the kid that they got for 23. I think they could have done a lot better at that position.
Before the draft,
that's Jerry.
Before the draft, Vince texts me. He goes, "I hope Jerry don't screw this up." I don't think he did. In fact, I think the 49ers royally screwed it up. And one thing that really upset me was the trade of D. Winters to the Dallas Cowboys. Vince, historically, the 49ers, we can go back to the greatest blunder ever that benefited the Dallas Cowboys. I'm talking about Charles Haley to the Cowboys. Charles Haley was 6 Super Bowl rings, was just a monster in San Francisco, responsible for some of the great rivalry games. And then we gave him up to you, and he was a menace to the 49ers. But the 49ers have been needing all the help they need on defense, and D. Winters led the 49ers with 101 tackles. You guys got a good linebacker from us. I really don't understand why we gave him up.
He fits that system.
I think he's going to be, I think he will, man. The 49ers have going back to Charles Haley, they will adapt. This kid started in 17 games. D. Winters started all 17 games last year without injuries and led the Niners in tackles, and we gave them to you. We just gave them to you.
I'm gonna say something, but I don't want you guys to laugh at me what I'm gonna say. But I just want to get out of the first round in the playoffs. Just get me out of the first round. It's like,
you guys can get out of the first round. You guys can't make a conference championship game.
Hey, but let's do one at a time, Drew.
I don't.
No, here's a question. The new defensive coordinator. I have a feeling your defensive scheme is going to change. You gotta look at it like this. When he was under Fangio ran a mix of mostly 3-4 defense and everything. Last year, you guys ran 4-3 and ran dime. Even though Fangio runs the dime and everything, but he runs more cover 6 and everything. Like, I hope they got 3-4 guys on that team. That's the thing. Like,
I'm excited for that coordinator.
To tell you the truth, it's going to be growing pain. It could be some growing pains because guys got to get used to a scheme and everything. Like, this is something that do I think they make the playoffs? No, I don't think Dallas makes the playoffs this year.
It's gonna be a tough division.
I don't even think that. I tell you this right now. I'm kind of thinking the Giants finish ahead of you this year.
That's what I was thinking.
Vince, don't say that, man. You gotta say you're gonna with these. You guys are making the wild card.
You're lying.
Just say you're making the wild card this year.
We're winning the division.
That means the Eagles.
Don't be like no. All right, Vince, let's do it. Don't be like every other Cowboys fan that said they're gonna win the Super Bowl.
No, we ain't winning. No way we're gonna win that is on Xbox or PlayStation.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. There's this guy that's a Niners fan that lives in San Jose. He's a diehard Niners fan. He's a pro Madden player, and he'll say every year, even if the Niners sucked that year, or sucked the year before, or it just looked like on paper they sucked. Oh, they're in the Super Bowl. I was like, dude, you remind me of a fucking Cowboys fan. And and I was like, the 1 year he said, "Oh, they're gonna win the Super Bowl this year." I'm like, dude, they went fucking 5-11. What the fuck are you talking about? And that year, I'm like, it's just like just go play Call of Duty or something, bro. But I think Dave needs to put this as a poll up on the community page. The one thing I was planning on doing, because I had so many people wanting me to come out of retirement when it comes to playing Madden and everything. And I told them that I will come out of retirement for under one condition. And they asked what? And I told my boy this, if somebody buys me the game. And he was like, what? If somebody buys me the next game, I'll come out of retirement. Because I know nobody would. Because I know nobody would. And nobody hasn't yet. I was like, see, there's no reason for me to come out of retirement. But I think we should put a poll on the community page for Madden 27. Should Drew come out of retirement and come on the Shoe Shine and stream CFM his game when he plays Madden at times?
When's the game come out?
Shit.
Is it out now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Nah,
right?
It's August. The next new one comes out in August.
I'll put it up.
That'd be awesome. And have him play against a ranked opponent.
No. I used to play competitive Madden. I used to play in tournaments, Vince.
Oh shit!
I beat the guy that beat the. Let me tell you something. like 5 or 6 years ago, I played in a Madden tournament in Philly, and I played downtown. This was before the game came out when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He was and Wentz was the quarterback. I beat a guy that beat the #1 ranked player in the world a week before he played me. Not only I beat him, I made him crit in the third quarter because I was up 28-0 on him.
That should be a slaughter rule.
Hey, I wanted to play this.
He crit.
I want to play this clip real quick, guys, before we move on from the NFL draft, man. I told Vince about this guy. Number 99th pick, bro. This is really, really special. I'm from San Francisco. I grew up in this neighborhood, the Mission District. He didn't grow up in the Mission District. He actually grew up in Bayview, Hunters Point, which I was telling Vince is the home to a lot of famous rap music groups. Most important, like Ill Mannered Posse, and then there was hit songs like Don't Give Me No Bam or Weed in the 90s. It has been a very, very long time since a high school player from San Francisco has made the NFL. The Seahawks drafted him at 99. He is a phenomenal cornerback. He actually played wide receiver as well. This is the mayor of San Francisco today. Let me play that clip. Yeah. It's a big deal. The school is predominantly Latino, the high school, but
Mission High, the Bayview, San Francisco, the first SFUSD student picked in the NFL in decades. Tell everybody about yourself.
Man, I'm Julian Neal. I'm from Hunters Point, California, Osceola to be exact. Growing up there is big, man. I'm doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for the city. I'm doing this for the kids.
Let's go San Francisco. Now,
Nah, he's not going to be a Niner. He's playing for the Seahawks, which is where the Beast played, famous running back from Oakland, California. But man, Hunters Point, you got to think of Hunters Point like the most famous projects in LA, that are all Crip or Blood projects. It's rough, man.
The Jordan Downs.
Bro, I used to have a friend in high school who lived there, and he's like, drop me off. I was like, he's like, I got you, man. Ain't nobody gonna F with you. But as soon as I left his projects, I was like sitting duck, bro. He's like, ain't nobody mess with you while you drive me there, but when you leave, you're on your own.
You're on your own.
You're on your own, bro. I dropped him off one time. I was like creeping out of his neighborhood, man. Oh, those are some good times, but shout out to him, man. That's pretty amazing. Like the mayor of San Francisco said, it's been decades since somebody from San Francisco public school, because they ain't got money. Like the public schools in San Francisco, they just don't have money for football. So they're not you're not going to produce an incredible athlete unless you are an incredible athlete. They just don't have the money to compete at that level with some of these schools. Also, they got a statement here I wanted to share. It's a statement from the Arizona Cardinals. We are heartbroken to learn of the passing of Josh Morrow. Our thoughts are with his family, friends, and all who knew him. We extend our deepest condolences to everyone grieving his loss. He played a bunch of years for the Cardinals and also with the Raiders. Anything you guys else wanted to touch on NFL draft?
Well,
no.
Here's a question for both of you. What team that didn't make the playoffs this year takes a step forward?
My team.
Of course you'll say that.
Well, actually, I kind of agree with them, Drew. I kind of agree. I think they had a great draft class.
You want to know who I think takes a step forward this year?
Who is it?
The Atlanta Falcons. I think the Atlanta Falcons are actually going to win the NFC South this year. What team that made the playoffs last year are going to take a step back?
The Niners. Did they make the playoffs?
Thanks. The Niners made the playoffs. Yeah, we did.
I'm gonna go on a limb here. I think the Chicago Bears.
Okay. I'll go with that too.
Or the Ravens. How about the Ravens?
Nah, they had to take a step forward. They didn't even make the playoffs.
With Diego Pavia as backup?
But you look at it like this. I think the Chicago Bears are going to a good potential pick to be taking a step back. I think it was kind of like a fluke and everything. I think their defense, their edge rushing, they couldn't even generate a pass rush at all last year. But you could also say the Pittsburgh Steelers and everything are going to take a huge step back. I think they're not going to make the playoffs.
Is Aaron Rodgers coming back?
They don't know about. But I just think there's like so many. I just think that I think Pittsburgh needs like that rebuild.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you just eliminate the Penguins tonight?
Yeah. You know what? That might have been Sidney Crosby and Malkin's last game as Penguins. So, see, we might have just ended the era there.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers was complaining about some of the draft picks, so I think he is going to try to play next year. He wasn't happy about their draft picks. I think they've drafted a quarterback, right?
But they own the right. They own his rights. They put a claim in on him. So if he was to come back and wants to play somewhere else, whoever takes him is going to have to give them a draft pick or something.
Wow.
In case you guys are wondering, Golden Knights are still leading the Utah Mammoths 3-2 in the third quarter with 16 minutes and 47 seconds to go.
You guys see those jerseys, right? The Utah Mammoth. They got some nice ass colors.
Yeah.
So it's Cinco de Mayo weekend here in Las Vegas. Friday, or is it tomorrow night? I believe tomorrow night after the press conference, they are going to officially release a documentary movie. I think it's going to be on DAZN, which I feel like this one should have been airs this Thursday on DAZN.com. It's a whole sports documentary movie, and I feel like this one should have been on Netflix. It's called La Guerra Civil, which is the Civil War. Julio Cesar Chavez versus Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar's very happy. He's in Vegas this weekend. Of course, the great Julio Cesar Chavez. Yeah, he lives out here. He had a lot to say about David Benavidez today, man. But he has a whole documentary. They got a whole movie about it, and it's going to be released tomorrow. I'm excited to see it. They got a little clip here on Twitter about it. I'm not sure how I'm going to watch it because I don't actually have DAZN, guys.
Your box don't get it?
You know, I actually saw that one of their fights in Mexico. I was visiting my dad, my actual biological dad in Michoacan, and I saw that fight in a stadium. And that was the fight where Cesar Chavez was cut and the fight ended in 4 rounds. Damn, I never seen so many angry Mexicans, bro. I was in Morelia, Michoacan, Vince. Like, that's where I think Fernando Vargas is from Michoacan, man. I was in the capital, bro. They were mad. It was a whole stadium full of Mexicans mad about that cut. But that's a movie about their fight, and it's coming out tomorrow, leading up to the big fight. Let's talk about this main event card here in Las Vegas and then the Inoue thing. I'll just go to DraftKings, but I got to get you guys on record with your picks for this fight, man. I think Vince gave me his picks, but let's do them all over again. Maybe your opinions have changed.
I ain't changing.
Oscar Duarte, who trains with Robert Garcia, man, he's pissed, bro. He's angry as can be because Richard Hitchinson, dude, that dude, or is it Richard Hitchens? What's his name? I always get it wrong. Is it Hitchens?
Yep.
Flip a coin, you get one right.
Dude, he got screwed out of that title opportunity
because he was scared.
It was an IBF fight, and he was supposedly doing a backroom deal with Zuffa and Dana White. And then it's just like what I'm saying, what it looked like. It looked like Zuffa and everybody was like, back out of the fight because we got a new contract that we're going to offer you.
That's crazy.
And like 2 days before the actual fight, we're talking press week. Oscar Duarte's in town. He's ready to fight for his title opportunity. And Hitchens says, I got to go to the hospital. I'm sick, this, blah, blah. I don't know what's going on, which completely screwed Duarte. Duarte is looking to hurt somebody. And unfortunately for Mexico's Angel Fierro's had a bad time ever since he fought Pitbull Cruz, which I thought was a brutal Mexican showdown. I think Angel Fierro is going to get all that anger from Duarte, man. Duarte can punch. I'm going to start with you, Vince. Duarte is a negative 1,000 favorite. And Angel Fierro's the underdog. Do you got a stoppage, though?
No, because they're Mexicans. They're going to beat each other up. 12 rounds of beating.
They don't have any extra bets here. It is going to be a back and forth. It's going to be a phone booth fight, which the stronger, I'm going to favor the stronger guy, which is Oscar Duarte. But Drew, Angel Fierro in his last fight, or it was like 1 or 2 fights ago, he got so frustrated, he got disqualified. He kicked his opponent. He straight started Muay Thai kicking the guy. Like, ever since the Pitbull Cruz fight, he's been kind of going AWOL, like it's like a little bit. I mean, it's almost like Edgar Berlanga started getting frustrated. He bit somebody. Remember, he bit somebody.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a funny.
Dude's a clown.
Who you got in this fight, man?
I got Oscar Duarte.
Do you got him? Do you got him stopping or just winning by decision?
I think it's gonna be like a late stoppage. I think he's that type of fighter that I just don't see him winning a title. I see him being like that contender that contends, and that's a guy that you beat the shit out of, and you have him when you win. That's what I see about him.
Duarte?
Yeah, but I think he's gonna win by stoppage in this fight.
So he's gonna get an IBF opportunity eventually. He's gonna fight this fight, and then on Golden Boy's roster, Lindolfo Delgado. I think they're both gonna fight for that vacant title that Hitchens is vacating at 140. Vince, all of these guys that we've talked about, whether it's Duarte or Lindolfo Delgado, those are guys that could potentially be really, really tough fights for Emiliano Vargas. When people say, oh, he's fighting this or he's fighting that, those guys are really tough fighters in that division. But, that's the kind of challenges I'm sure he's looking for. Like I said, one of those two guys is eventually going to probably be the IBF champion, and that's what you want. You want a pathway to one of the belts, WBO, IBF, WBC, whatever, whichever belt it is. It makes a great pathway to it. I'm looking forward to it, man. But I got him by stoppage late in the co-main event. You got this guy that actually he's on my channel, man. When he fought Caleb Plant, Resendez.
I'm taking him.
You taking Resendez?
Yep.
Today, bro, I flipped today, Jaime Munguia, and thank you for any likes, guys. Make sure you hit that like if you like this boxing sports content. Today I switched, man. I got Jaime Munguia. Something's telling me that Jaime Munguia's back is up against the wall. He's had so many tough fights. He's had fights, Drew. Remember he fought the Australian guy, Hogan? He's had fights that shouldn't have been wins, He
lost to Dennis Hogan.
But he's also had some good showings in his career. Saludos to SP. I appreciate you. Happy Cinco de Mayo Day weekend to you and your loved ones. Man, this fight's going to be really, really good, guys. Armando Resendez versus Jaime Munguia. Those two Mexican fights right there are going to be a perfect lead up to the main event. Yes. But you got Armando Resendez. Any feeling why? Any reason why?
Because when he beat a Plant, he made me a believer.
I got him too.
You do,
and I'll tell you why. That he's plus 174, and I couldn't go away from that, so I did put him on my parlay for that.
Hey, salute to 1993 Cobra. Appreciate you.
But I don't think Jaime Munguia is the same guy.
Nope.
I don't think he's the same guy that could take a shot anymore.
Yeah.
I think I
can't change my mind.
I'm sorry, but he got a favor to him when he tested positive for a substance, and they still didn't. They didn't make it a no contest. They gave him the win still and everything. I just don't think that he's gonna win this fight.
So Rossi absolutely changed the trajectory of his career. He knocked him out. That was like unbelievable. It was in his backyard. I think it was a homecoming fight for Jaime Munguia in Tijuana. It was supposed to be an opponent that Jaime Munguia was going to knock out, and the Frenchman knocks him out in his hometown. And then they had the rematch, which was on a holiday, Mexican Independence Day weekend, I think, which was where Canelo fought the Cuban, and he didn't look good in the rematch. And then he tested. Then we find out he tested for a substance. But my feeling is that Jaime Munguia has been in so many big fights that perhaps with his experience and Armando Reséndez being on the biggest stage of his life, defending his title, that he may go backwards and succumb to the pressure and the experience of Jaime Munguia. And Jaime Munguia, to be fair, has been training with Canelo's camp, and maybe they finally have made an improvement, the improvement he's going to need. Or maybe he'll be the same old Jaime. I don't know. I'm probably going to lose on this belt. My feeling is that Jaime has got his back up against the wall. He knows his career is potentially on the line and that it's going to be a great Mexican showdown, but he's going to rise to the occasion. All right, what's the odds say? Let me see here. What are the odds?
It's a close fight. It's a close fight.
Yeah.
I think Reséndez is definitely the younger, fresher fighter because Jaime's got up well over 40 fights, career fights at this point in his career. He started very young in Tijuana, where they start as young as 16. And he might have a lot of damage on him. But Jaime Munguia is the favorite by -215. So you guys, man, if you guys win the underdog, you guys are definitely going to make out on the betting action. In the main event, David Benavidez is now currently sitting as a -390 favorite to Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Wow, this is going to be a good fight. I bet my mom's going to be excited about it. My mom gets excited over these Mexican showdowns. Is David Benavidez Mexican? Vince?
What is his mom?
From Ecuador.
Mexican? Oh, well, yeah, he's half.
Yeah, okay, good. All right. And Drew? Drew, I got to ask Drew, is he Mexican?
He's halfway there.
All right, man. Here's the deal. We were talking about, like, earlier on Lukey's podcast, we're scratching our head is why hasn't Mexico, not Mexican-American fan base or American fan, but has Mexico fully embraced David Benavidez as the next face of Mexican boxing? Will they ever embrace him? Let's say he beats Zurdo Ramirez and he becomes a three-division. Does Canelo pass the torch? Does he say, you know what, bro, you proved yourself, and when I retire, I'm gonna embrace you. I'm gonna endorse you, and I'm gonna say David Benavidez is the new face of Mexican boxing. No.
It's a guy in the lower weight classes. That's the face of Mexican boxing.
You know, Canelo's going to be in attendance supporting. Canelo's going to be there, front row. He's going to be supporting Jaime Munguia, and I gotta wonder if David Benavidez is victorious. Are we going to get the same stare down? Are we going to get the same drama that we just had with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua ringside?
No.
Here's the thing. You think Canelo leaves? Do you think Canelo leaves right after? That'll be cold. That'll be cold if Canelo gets up. It's like, I ain't watching.
I don't think he's gonna come. I don't think he's gonna come out here.
They say he's here already.
Yo,
oh wow.
He's gonna be like this. He's gonna be like this to Benavidez. Payday.
Hey, he might be out here because he's probably gonna see Dylan fight. I forgot.
To support Dylan Capetillo, who will be on the undercard. Oh, man, he might be there very, very early, though. David Capetillo might be early on the card.
Yeah, he's probably the first fight.
I know there was somebody earlier was saying David has a strange body, but the truth of the matter is that David Benavidez weighed as much as 240 pounds in his early teenage years, and he lost a lot of weight. When he started sparring Kelly Pavlik as a teenager, he went through a transformation. But David's goal is to fight Dimitri Bivol next. But his other goal, his other goal is to be a heavyweight. I think
he's on his way.
You know, that picture's not real, guys. Come on, that's probably what I look like with my shirt off.
Anyways,
no, I can't believe it. The Knights are tied up 3-3. Oh man, the series is tied 2-2.
If they lose, they go home, right?
Nah, it'll be 3-2 in favor. Yeah, Utah Mammoth just tied the game, which Drew, this thing might end up in overtime, like your thriller today. You know, where you guys won, but this will go into a game 6. If Utah Mammoth wins, we'll get a game 6. This is unbelievable. Vince, who wins, David Benavidez or Zurdo Ramirez, who's the unified champion?
David Benavidez.
Did you see his workout today at the MGM Grand? Did you see any of the highlights? All right, I'll say this: he didn't lose any hand speed at all.
Oh, he's fast. He's fast.
I'm gonna disagree. I think I'm putting Zordo Ramirez to win this fight.
Hey, Drew,
I,
wouldn't it be
I
funny if that happens and then he fights Canelo next? The Zuro.
but here's the
That'd be
thing, man.
hilarious.
I put a
What?
parlay down.
I didn't. You know, Vince. I
And
didn't think about that.
I put Zordo. I put the guys fighting Jaime Munguia, and I put Junto Nakatani on a parlay.
That's the parlay. What about that, Drew? That's a great point. I didn't think about that. Look, Canelo's looking for a real challenge, but it's got to be a fight he thinks he can win. Zurdo Ramirez, he upsets David Benavidez. He beats him. Canelo's talked about he was going to one time fight the African fighter that was with Don King. Remember, he was going to, he was going to move up to cruiserweight. That fight was almost going to happen because Canelo wanted to challenge himself and go as high as cruiserweight. But man, I didn't think about that. I think Canelo thinks he can beat Zurdo Ramirez.
Oh, do you think he'll do it with De La Hoya being a promoter?
You got me there, man. You got me there. He doesn't deal with Oscar. You're right, man.
I don't think he's ever gonna move up the cruiserweight Canelo. I think Canelo. Look at it like this: looking for a challenge, dude. Don't somebody looking for a challenge, man. You got yourself beat last time easily. So, when it comes to that, man. I think he's going to wind up fighting Christian and Billy.
Which is a good fight.
I think 2 fights and he's done.
You know, like, I think he should retire now. Like,
yes.
Really, like, you're not going to really give us the one fight you want because you said the Bivol fight is dead because you're not moving up to 175 again. And your plan is to stay at 168 for your last couple of fights. Which is the right decision to do, but you know, it's just I don't know. It's just not worth it to Canelo to continue his career.
Man, the guy who just won the IBF title, Ulises Iglesias, I think is a great opponent for Canelo, and he just fought a Cuban fighter in his last one. He might as well take this Cuban dude's belt. Because the last guy who he fought had the IBF belt. He was Cuban. He might as well take this Cuban's belt too. I don't think Ulises Iglesias beats Canelo, but the Christian and Billy, that's an interesting fight for real. Even the Guatemalan fighter at 168 is a very tough test for Canelo at this stage in his career. There was something crazy, guys. I just read Canelo went to Europe. He said he went to Europe to test himself. Everything with the most state-of-the-art doctor technology, you know, and they said that he has the body of a 26-year-old. Canelo is 35. Yeah, right. Vince says, yeah, right. The internet didn't agree either, bro. Where is that? I should have read you some of the things people were saying. They're like, yeah, you paid $2 million for this test. They're going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. They said that he has zero CTE. He went to Europe to have these tests done. That he has zero CTE. He has no brain damage whatsoever. And that biologically, he is basically 26 years old. And this was the response on social media. They're like, yeah, man, based on his last fights, he ain't 26. I don't know. I wonder what it would say about us.
We're broke. They're gonna talk hella crap.
They're gonna say Dave's 60. They're gonna tell me I'm 60. They probably tell me I'm
70.
60.
It's like this. Payday with the welcome. Payday. Can I get my disability check?
For real, that guy. Some of the athletes that are still performing, like your guy Bronny, man, Lakers. I wonder what he would test. And also Ronaldo spends, and Vince, you and I talk about some of Emiliano Vargas's training and his health as far as like diet and stuff, nutrition. But I got to wonder, like, I heard that Ronaldo spends like more than $1 million a year in his body training and recovery, more than $1 million just on all of that. He's over 40 years old, or 40, bro. That dude is in unbelievable shape, man. I wonder how old they'd say he is. But all right, Drew, you got Zurdo Ramirez winning this fight?
Yeah, I think he wins by decision. I think that he's the bigger man. I think he's gonna be able to put the pressure on David, and like look at it like this. David doesn't really have the best gas tanks, like moving up. Like he didn't have a good gas tank against Grosdick moving up in light heavyweight. I think this might be the same result here, but Zotto is a guy that will stay on him.
You know, I was watching that PBC thing today when he worked out. He looked really good, and then as soon as he was done with the open workout, when they went to interview him, he was breathing heavy. So he basically worked out for a little over three or 4 minutes and did all of his pad work and everything. And he was breathing heavy. And that was kind of surprising to me because, you know, he broke a real good sweat. He looked good though. I mean, his hand speed, everything, his combinations looked brutal. His son did, Vince, you'll like this, but his son was shadow boxing, which reminds me of Dylan Capetillo, who's going to be on the card. Shout out to Dylan. He's going to be having a second. He grew up in the ring doing those little shadow boxing performances. David's son looks like he's, you know, he reminds me of like the Vargas dynasty, that they're born for it. He's going to be a fighter in 15, 16 years. We're going to be hearing about David Benavidez' son. But he danced with the Jabberwockies. The Jabberwockies came in and David's son did a dance routine with
That's
them.
awesome.
That was pretty cool. I didn't get to ask you, Vince, just so you remind everybody, we're going to come back next week and see who won all four, who got the 4 ones. We got, I know you're picking David Benavidez, you're picking Armando Resendez, and you're picking, Duarte.
Yep.
Duarte. Drew, you're picking Zurdo, but in the main event, you got Nakatani or Inoue for the Japanese fight, which is Saturday morning.
I picked Nakatani.
I got Nakatani too. Nakatani? 3 for Nakatani? Oh man, the Inoue fans are they're gonna roast us. For
it's all good.
That's all I got, man. Guys, I appreciate you. We went over an hour and 20 minutes, man. So Friday, guys, if you're interested, Vince, I don't know if you have time to go, but if not, I'm gonna
try my best.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over
Lakers
to the weigh-in.
are about to lose, 99 to 93 with 11 seconds left.
Oh damn!
Damn Lakers.
The Utah Mammoth just scored another goal. It's now 4-3. They take the lead.
I'll be there. Spirit.
Man,
Drew's the winner.
That's all I got, guys. Well, we'll be back on Monday night, and Tuesday is the actual Cinco de Mayo, and we'll see what kind of weekend we all have. Until then, peace out.
Hey, if I get a lot of tickets, I'll hook you up. I'll try to get for you and your wife.
I appreciate you. I appreciate
but don't say
it,
that because I don't want to say if I can't get them, I don't want her to be disappointed.
No worries, man.
All right, Emmy told me. Peace. Have a good one.